Hey there, Scott Roller here. Welcome to part 3 of my video on the most important shot in pool, which hopefully you know by now is the straight-in shot. For part 3, we're going to focus on stop shot, which is a variety of a straight-in shot. So typically, if you are truly straight in, you have 3 choices. You can stop the ball, you can follow the ball, or you can draw the ball. Now there's ways to cheat the pocket and sort of slide the cue ball slightly left or right down the tangent line, or some variety of the tangent line, either forward or backward of the tangent line. And the closer the object ball is to the pocket, the easier that is to do because of what we talked about before with the margin for error. So again, if I have a straight in shot like this, you can see the ball is pretty close to the pocket, but I can actually hit that ball over to the left or over to the right. So let's say I need to get that way to the rail. I can shoot it to the left part of the pocket, and I should be able to get over to the rail by just, again, going down that tangent line. Now I may have to hit the ball a little hard to do that, and that's one of the reasons why you generally don't want to be straight in, unless that straight in stop shot, or maybe rolling forward a little or coming back a little, is going to get you on the line for the next shot. What is a stop shot? So because the balls are equal weight, when one ball hits the other, if the cue ball is sliding at contact, so it has neither forward roll nor backward roll on it, when it hits that ball and it's sliding, it transfers all of its energy to the object ball, and it should stop directly in place. If it has a little bit of rotational energy in it, a little forward or a little back, or a lot forward or a lot back, that's when the cue ball is going to go forward or draw back. So to hit a stop shot, you have to have the cue ball sliding at contact. Okay, so the way most players try to accomplish that is through speed. And that is probably not the best way to do it, but it is a method. So let's say they have a stop shot like this. Most amateurs, most league players that I see, when they have a stop shot like this, they stop the ball by increasing their speed. So by hitting the cue ball harder, it gets it to slide longer, and often it will still be sliding at contact because of the increased speed. So what they'll do is they'll get down and do something like this, and they'll whack away at it. And like you see, when I whack away like that, maybe my tip dips down, maybe it goes forward a little bit. It's not a very accurate way to hit the shot. So a much better way to hit that shot, especially from normal distances like this, is to simply let your tip position go down below center slightly. And if you're a little bit below center, what happens is the cue ball is going to start out with a little bit of draw, and then it'll slide before it starts to roll forward. And you're trying to get that to time properly so that it's sliding at the moment of contact. Even if it starts to roll forward just a little, again, you may only get a fraction of movement on the cue ball. Or if it's still rolling backwards slightly, you may get a fraction of movement that way. But it's much better. Right now I'm going to go just maybe a quarter tip below center. Okay. Much smoother stroke, much more controllable. Still stop the ball. So there's no reason, as we talked about last time, there's no reason that you have to accelerate hugely or punch or stop your wrist from moving or any of these other things I've heard throughout the years. It's simply a stun shot, or stop shot, sorry. It's simply a function of the distance you have and the tip position you're using and the speed you're using for that distance to basically get that cue ball to be sliding at contact. So one of the things I like to do as an example is I'll take a strike ball and I'll put a piece of chalk on the table. I'll just put it right here. Hopefully you can see this on the video. So let's just say my cue ball is right here. If my object ball were right here, straight in, this ball would have to be sliding in that region for it to stop. If it was rolling forward in this region, it's going to roll forward after contact. And if it's still got some backspin on it, it's going to come back. So you can almost simulate this at different distances. So right here I'm, 2.5 or so feet away. So watch if you can when it goes by the chalk. You should see it's going to start out with a little draw. It's going to slide and skid, and then it's going to roll forward. And hopefully right by that chalk is where it's sliding. See that little movement like right in here, right? So that is what you need to do in order to stop the ball. Now, if I have a longer distance, I'm going to have to put more draw on the ball. Essentially, every stop shot, unless you're very close to the ball, every stop shot is going to require you to be below center by some degree. Could be slightly below center. It could be all the way at the maximum bottom of the ball that you can hit without miscuing. So you essentially, from 6 or 7 feet away, may have to hit what would normally be a pretty good draw shot just to get the ball to stop. Again, unless you're going to hit it very hard. So to give you an example of what that would look like, I'll try to use a strike ball because I think you can see even a little bit easier. Try to get some distance. So let's say I have this shot, right? Pretty far away. If I hit this, this is what happens a lot of times with amateur players. So they go kind of low, right? They flinch a little. They don't get enough draw on the ball because they're unsure about the shot. And so not only does the ball follow forward, but a lot of times they'll miss the ball just because they're not sure of what they're trying to do. So on this, I'm 4 or 5 feet away. I need to be down like a good solid full tip of draw and hit the ball at a reasonable speed to get it to stop. Okay. I went down about a full tip there and basically hit what would normally be a draw shot. If I had that same shot and I was closer, and again, I'm going to use a strike ball to show you, instead of being all the way back there, if I was closer and I hit that same tip position and that same speed, right, I'm going to hit a draw shot because the draw hasn't worn off yet and it's going to come back because I'm only a foot or two away. But when I'm 4 or 5 feet away, that same draw stroke, that draw is going to slowly wear out and it's going to be just right so that it's sliding in contact. So that's a big thing to practice. As I've talked about before, that ability to stop the ball is key because when you hit an angled shot with that same type of shot, it's called a stun shot. And when the ball is sliding an impact at an angle, it tends to follow the tangent line, which is a 90-degree line between the balls. And I've talked about this numerous times in other videos, but again, just for reference, if I have this shot, again, I'm about 1.5 to 2 feet away, if this is my shot line, I'm basically going to be following this tangent line. Here's a 90-degree line. So when this cue ball hits like this, it's going to follow this 90-degree line over to the side of the table. And that's if the cue ball is sliding to contact. If it's rolling forward to contact, it's going to go a little bit down this tangent line and it's going to go forward. If it's got draw, it's going to go down this tangent line and come back. So if I want to hit that perfect spot on the rail, which is right about here, I have to hit a stop shot. I have to be able to hit a stop shot from here. So that could be a hard shot with almost center ball. It could be a medium shot with like a little bit of draw, or it could be a really soft shot with a lot more draw. So watch when I hit this. Be about a half tip below center. Go right down that line. So you have to learn to be able to stop the ball from a variety of distances and with a variety of speeds and tip positions to really just get that get that sense in your head of how to hit that ball with confidence. And that is going to be your foundation for not only just a normal straight in stop shot, but also for all of your position play. And it's really important. I'm going to go into some drills on how to perfect that in the next part, the final part, part 4 of this video. Again, I think it's really important to practice the stop shots. It's really important to understand and build up that muscle memory in being able to hit them, and also to eliminate some of the fear of scratching. So, you know, if you have a shot like right here, and you're straight in and you're, let's say, 5 or 6 feet away like this, with some practice, you should not be afraid of scratching on this shot. You should not be afraid of accidentally following the ball in. Now again, 5 or 6 feet away, I've got to increase my speed a little bit, and/or I've got to get really low on the cue ball. So if I can issue a good stroke, I'm about a tip below on the cue ball. Right? I cut it to the right a little, so it went a little to the left, but you can see it didn't go forward. So there's no doubt at all in my mind, if I have a shot like that in a match, that I'm going to follow the ball in. But I certainly remember 20, 25 years ago when I was playing pool, that was a fear. And a lot of times you'd ramp up on your speed and hit the ball super hard, try to get the slide all the way down there. And that's just it's not a good, accurate way of thinking the shot. So those are the critical components of a stop shot. Again, really, really important to practice them and get comfortable with them at different distances and different speeds. I'm going to go over some drills on how to do that in the next section. Again, look for the next video, part 4. If you got any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. See you in the final part. Thanks for watching.